Okay, and now he's upset that I contacted the guy, and he's telling me I've got mental health disorders. I'm telling you, man, this is a classic mental health disorder you got. Blaming somebody else for telling them you're not going to help them. They're on their own. Do it themselves. Anyway, so he says, which of course pissed me off. So evidently he's not very much in control of his emotions. And I'm asking him what allegations. I asked him a question. His name is right there. I repeat, unless you want to apologize and stop being unprofessional, we have no reason to communicate. I'm trying to tell him, I guess I got to sue him, and I can't be continuing to talk to him. He says, you harassed Bruce, me, Greg. I haven't harassed any of these three people. I've asked them not to post information that's not true on your OPE form that's available, open to the whole internet. And I'm like, I've harassed Bruce? And he says, well, he called me confused about the allegations. Well, it's your allegations, Randy, from your moderator channel. I've given you several weeks to call me and apologize. Tells me I started out with a smart-ass comment, who's moderating? Well, if you're supposed to be the moderator and you're letting all this stuff go out on your channel, there's a problem. He says he's sick of me and my insecurities. I said, well, I'm supposed to be fucking off right now. From your direction to fuck off, and you hang up on me. So he says he'd be okay with you fucking off all the way. I told him I'm glad you put it in writing. And he's like, you can't sue me for whatever. He says, you really think you have grounds to sue someone for telling them to fuck off? Of course not. I'm not stupid. I mean, that wouldn't go anywhere. You could sue for anything, but it's not going to go anywhere. I said, I'm not stupid. He says, are you sure? Now, it is kind of funny. But this is a guy that's supposedly running a business. And this is a guy that runs a open internet forum called the OPE, where this is what they do. They get and they damage people's reputation. And I'm about to show you. I'm about to prove it to you. So he's saying here he's deleted the posts. I'm like, okay, that's great. And I tell him he's a fool. His name's under the post. Firewood hoarder. I get mixed up. Whatever. He says he's usually very accommodating and friendly, but he loses his patience dealing with mentally unstable people. If you can't get a hold of your emotions, that's a mental health problem that you have, dude. You check myself, dude. Check yourself, man. So I tell him it won't be a good defense calling me mentally unstable in his defense. But I really don't want to get this guy in court. I don't think I really need to. I think he just needs to control these people on this forum that he has, and then the whole world would be a better place, because really there's no sense in what they're doing on this forum. And let me show you. Let me show you what they're doing on the forum. This is the whole chat record. I didn't have a recording of it like novice lumberjack Jason Bodie Pennington, or whatever his name is. And I'm reminding him here, I'm like, look, you told me to contact him. Maybe you should ask him to elaborate. You're the one. I tell him, maybe I'm not the one who's a bit off mentally. Look at your text messages. You're the one that tells me to contact him. So I gave him a couple weeks to call me back. Let me show you what they do. Okay, so this is what they do. This thing here that says Steve, it's not me, it's somebody else. This is from the OPE forum. This is a good year and a half ago. This is back in May 2022. So ultimately, this is talking about this guy named John out of Minnesota that had a pretty cool channel. He was doing a lot of porting of chainsaws, and porting of chainsaws is something that gets them to a higher performance level on their speed. And personally, I'm not super excited about porting or learning about porting. I just want some standard products, So they're complaining that John is talking about their OPE form. And right here, he says he's the self-proclaimed savior of Chainsaw Jim saws or JMS saws, Fabs, Iron Horse, and all the other less than honest builders out there that we have exposed. What are you talking about? You have exposed. This guy, Fabs, is a YouTube channel, Fabs Acres. He's a Western New York guy. Everybody from this OPE forum talks bad about him and acts like he's been kicked off of every channel out there. And from commenting, and, they all hate him like they hate me. It's like, I'm wondering, this guy's a pretty intelligent guy. I think he's way more intelligent than any of these other people on this OPE forum. He's well-read. And I just haven't noticed anything dishonest about him. I mean, you know, I haven't noticed it, but I'm not out there looking. But all these other